You've probably heard of OMAD, or one meal a day diet, which promises quick weight loss. The trending diet plan earned both praises for its efficiency and critics for its health risks. Now, is OMAD really a game-changing diet hack or just another fitness fad? Joining us to give his 2 cents, fitness coach and content creator Enver Florendo. Good morning, Enver.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Enver, I've heard of OMAD because our other co-anchor, Anne, who's unfortunately not here to talk about this is her thing. So she actually did lose a lot of weight doing this. So I'm interested in doing it. But let's talk about the pros and the cons of OMAD and who should do it.
All right, so for OMAD, let's go and tackle the pros first. So yung OMAD kasi, it's very simple in yung nature niya. And yung adherence niya is single eating window lang. Literal, OMAD is one meal a day. Now, yung pros dito is, especially if you're the type of person who really finds it hard to not overeat, this can be for you. And yes, potential na magkaka-weight loss ka talaga through energy deficit. Kasi although at the end of the day, it's all about energy balance, calories in, calories out. Since you are really shortening the eating window, it will be very hard for you to overeat in yung second pros. And also, it may help improve your insulin sensitivity. Pero the cons really outweigh the pros. Kasi una-una, napakataas ng dropout rate nitong dieting style na to.
Yeah.
Studies say that roughly 65% yung dropout rate ng OMAD just because hindi talaga siya sustainable in the long term. Especially for us Filipinos na sanay tayo sa family natin, merong tanghalian, breakfast, lunch, dinner,
Right.
snacks pa with family and friends. Especially kapag lumalabas tayo outside. And also, isa sa risk din is yung nutrient deficiency. Since, for example, yung typical meal for an average Filipino is like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So if you think about it, how can you fit all of the macronutrients like protein,
Yeah.
carbs, and fat, as well as the micronutrients na kailangan ng katawan mo for the whole day in just one meal? So, isang factor din yun na baka hindi mo kayang kainin lahat ng dapat na sustansya sa katawan mo for the day. Plus, kung hindi ka talaga sanay, yung hunger mo, yung mood mo, yung energy fluctuation may affect how you function all throughout the day.
Yeah.
So,
You know,
for
and
yeah.
Enver, I just want to share din kasi there was also a period I did OMAD, and when you mentioned yung mood, that's true to the point that yung pamilya ko, they know when I'm on OMAD kasi ang sungit ko raw.
Are you OMAD?
Yeah, let's talk about that later. So,
OMAD pala?
Enver, when we talk about the interesting thing about it is that some people are saying that there are ways to do it safely, which also include yung mga supplementing the diet with the vitamins and minerals needed. Kasi you're absolutely right, the nutrient deficiency because of the short eating window, it's really there. What are your tips to do it safely for those who want to try to do it and to make sure na you're still healthy and you're still getting every nutrient you need moving forward?
So as always, before even trying any diet fad you see sa internet, make sure to consult with your doctor first. Kasi this type of diet may not be for you. So it may pose a health risk. Pero let's say for example, binigyan ka ng go signal sa doctor mo that's totally fine to do this type of
Yeah.
stuff. Ng OMAD. So huwag mong, just like anything else, huwag mong biglain. Kasi hindi mo siya magagawa if bibiglain mo. Kasi you are programmed, you're used to eating, I don't know, 2-3 meals a day.
Yeah.
So if ever you want to try this out, you can start with the regular intermittent fasting. Let's say yung 18-6.
Yeah.
So 16-8, I'm sorry. So basically 16-hour fast, 8-hour eating window. Or kung hindi mo talaga kaya ganun, you can lessen the fasting time frame. But as you get used to it, paiiklin mo yung fasting, yung eating window mo, and as you get used to it longer, pwede ka na mag-try ng OMAD. Pero again, make sure talaga to consult with your doctor first. And then if you want to try it, do it gradually and always never forget to hydrate,
Yes.
especially with your electrolytes then.
Yeah.
You're fasting.
Now, you mentioned intermittent fasting. So when we hear intermittent fasting and OMAD, sometimes I feel like not just myself, but a lot of people, they think it's basically the same thing, right? Depending on how big the window is. And I heard intermittent fasting is also very, very helpful when it comes to boosting your metabolism. So let's debunk some myths. Is that true? Does intermittent fasting or OMAD affect the metabolism and actually helps it or not?
Now, in terms of metabolism, I've read a study na yung benefits that you will get or yung overall weight loss is not really that significant when you compare it with traditional calorie deficit. So, in my personal opinion, I've been doing intermittent fasting not because of na nakaka-boost ng metabolism or whatnot. It's just that me personally, I am a big eater. So it makes it easier for me to stick with my meal plan. Kasi technically, when I look at intermittent fasting, I look at that as just basically you're skipping breakfast. That's it. And let's say I'm skipping my breakfast calories.
Yeah.
Yung calories sa breakfast ko, I just allocate it sa lunch and dinner. So basically, I'll be having two big satisfying meals, which makes it harder for me to overeat along the day, during the day. So parang same principle lang din siya sa OMAD. But at the end of the day, it's all about energy balance. Or pinaka-simple way to put it is the basic law of thermodynamics. Calories in versus calories out. Energy balance talaga. Kasi regardless if you do intermittent fasting or you do OMAD, if you still go way above your calorie maintenance, you will still gain weight.
Right. So at the end of the day, you basically just have to be in a calorie deficit, whatever diet that looks like. But with that being said, you're also a fitness expert. What are your thoughts on fasting before working out?
Now, fasting before working out is or can be a preference, but study shows if you really want to maximize how well you perform sa gym or sa workouts mo, I highly suggest you have a few pre-workout meal bago. Let's say light meal that consists mainly of carbs kasi yung pinaka preferred energy source ng katawan natin is carbs. So it makes sense to have a few grams of carbs or a light pre-workout meal to have before you do your workouts. But at the end of the day pa rin, it all depends sa kung ano yung preference mo. Kasi some people prefer to work out fasted, some people prefer to work out not fasted. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, depende pa rin siya.
You know, Enver, this is one of my favorite questions that I really wish our co-host Anne was here because we've had discussions about this in the past. So just so it's easier to clip on social media, I'm going to have a quick millennial pause and then I will ask you this question.
All right.
All right, so when we talk about certain diets, OMAD in particular, we always say that it's a get slim quick diet. Minsan there are other diets are saying that will get you the results you want faster. Like for example, no carbs in particular, or you have to limit X or Y. When you take a look online especially, and people are peddling yung mga get slim quick, or if you want to lose weight X, Y, or Z, all you have to do is this. How dangerous is that? One, knowing that you have a bit of a responsibility as a fitness influencer, and two, how do you encourage people to do it in a healthy way, and what are the things that we need to avoid?
So, unang-una, especially for people, usually kasi yung pinaka-common ng mga taong gumagawa nito is usually talaga on the heavier side. But people have to look at it differently. You did not gain weight overnight. Para siyang years and years of consistent na bad food choices and habits, but it doesn't make sense if lahat ng yun gusto mong mawala in just a snap. So, maapektuhan talaga yung health mo. Wala naman talagang black and white sagot na dapat eto yung best diet, eto yung best fasting window, okay? if you think about it, everything works naman as long as it's sustainable on your end. Kasi at the end of the day, you can try vegan diet, carnivore diet, paleo, one meal a day, intermittent fasting, or low carb, kung anumang diet na gusto mo i-try. As long as it's sustainable on your end. Kasi if it's sustainable on your end, you can adhere to it. And when you can adhere to it long term, you will see results na sustainable siya, in
Right.
which you don't have to really punish yourself for it.
Well, since we're talking about OMAD now, because we can talk about this all day and all the different types of diets and how you should start.
And not only that, we can talk about it more than once a day.
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, clever. Like, yeah, exactly. But anyway, Enver, so when people are looking at doing OMAD and they want to start, like you mentioned, kanina, you have to have all the macronutrients and all that pasok in that one meal a day that you're having. So for those who want to start, what does that one meal a day look like?
So, unang-una, depende sa goal mo. If you are trying to lose weight, if you're trying to gain weight, or magma-maintenance ka lang. So, you have to figure out how much macronutrients or overall calories per day yung kakailangan mo, depende sa goal mo. So, once you figure that out, syempre, ipa-plan out mo paano mo makuha itong certain macronutrients from whole foods talaga. So, make sure talaga, if ever you are trying to jump into this kind of diet fad, make sure talaga na you really, really plan it out. And I always say to people na whatever diet you may do, always prioritize whole foods, healthy foods. Kasi parang sinasabi ko palagi, eat healthy foods most of the time so you can eat unhealthy foods sometimes.
Right.
That's what makes us human and pagiging sustainable on our end talaga.
Balance.
Yeah, no, I really enjoy that. And we're starting to wrap up here, but then you've mentioned sustainability a lot. And when we talk about yung sustainability, when it comes to yung diet, when it comes to workout, when it comes to habits, for those who are struggling with finding those particular habits, those particular ways and routines to try and get there, how would you suggest someone starts? Because I believe that's where it really begins, that to sustainably build that habit gradually rather than jumping in and going on the deep end, and then from going from like 2,000 calories to like a 2 to try and lose your weight really quickly.
So, unang-una, I think the most fastest way for you to get results is to follow someone who knows what he's talking about and ano yung value na makuha mo sa kanya. So, basically, if ever lang, in this scenario, you probably have some money to spare, then consult ka sa nutritionist, get a coach, knowledgeable coach, or even consult a doctor. Pero always talaga ang ginagawa ko, that's why I make these kinds of content, is for people na maging aware, for them to make good, educated decisions on their end. Kasi at the end of the day, iba pa rin tayo lahat ng katawan. And you have to, gagamitin mo critical thinking na, will this give me results na sustainable sa end ko?
Right.
And will I be happy doing this? Kasi usually, yung sinasabi ko talaga, if before even trying out something, think of like one whole year in advance kung kaya mong gawin to. If you think sobrang hirap pala ng one whole year, then probably that kind of diet, that kind of training program is not for you. So, make sure talaga, again, sustainability talaga. Kasi kahit napaka-intense pa ng program na pina-follow mo, kahit napaka-galing pa ng coach na kinuha mo, pero hindi naman sustainable on your end, you will end up getting burnt out and you'll go back to square one.
He mentioned a while ago, follow someone knowledgeable. Kaya ito, nag-follow na ako. Enver,
Wow.
smart fit.
Wow.
There
I'm
it
gonna
is.
follow you back.
There it is.
There you go.
That's all I
Enver,
wanted. I wanted a new follower.
I'm going to follow you soon too, but thank you so much, Enver, for coming this morning. That was fitness coach and content creator, Enver Florendo.
Appreciate you, Enver. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.